Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Mandarat Pranam to you and all the devotees on the call. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Rupini Padma Devi Dasi from Orlando, Florida.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanuk Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for joining. Hare Krishna dear devotees, today we are very fortunate we have our grace Prema Padmani Mataji from Bangalore, India. And Mataji is going to enlighten us from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, Chapter 6, verse 1 onwards, and also Damodar Leela. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. You may take over the call when you are ready.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Please accept my humble obeisances. Okay. Okay. Please accept my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyanjanashalakya Chakshurun Militamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namni Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayani Gaurakata Damdaya Nagar Gram Tarini Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharni Nirvisesh Sunyavadi Paschat Deshtarni Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shred Vaitagadadar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 8, Chapter 6, first verse, right? So the introduction to this chapter, the demigods and the demons declare a truce. Should I read this, the introduction for the chapter?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. This chapter describes how the Lord appeared before the demigods when they offered him their prayers. Following the advice of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods executed a truce with the demons for the purpose of churning nectar from the sea. Because of the prayers offered by the demigods in the previous chapter, Lord Kshirodakshai Vishnu was pleased with the demigods, and thus he appeared before them. The demigods were almost blindfolded by his transcendental bodily effulgence. At first, therefore, they could not even see any part of his body. After some time, however, when Brahma could see the Lord, he, along with Lord Shiva, began to offer the Lord prayers. Lord Brahma said, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being beyond birth and death, is eternal. He has no material qualities, yet he is the ocean of unlimited auspicious qualities. He is subtler than the most subtle. He is invisible, and his form is inconceivable. He is worshipable for all the demigods. Innumerable universes exist within his form, and therefore he is never separated from these universes by time, space, or circumstances. He is the chief and the pradhana, although he is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the material creation. The idea of pantheism, conceived by the Mayavadi philosophers, has no validity. The Supreme Personality of Godhead controls the entire material manifestation through his subordinate agent, the external energy. Because of his inconceivable transcendental position, he is always the master of material energy. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in his various forms is always present even within this material world, but the material qualities cannot touch him. One can understand his position only by his instructions as given in the Bhagavad Gita. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 10.10, Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. Buddhi Yoga means Bhakti Yoga. Only through the process of Bhakti Yoga can one understand the Supreme Lord. When offered prayers by Lord Shiva and Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead was pleased. Thus, he gave appropriate instructions to all the demigods. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Ajita, unconquerable, advised the demigods to make a peace proposal to the demons so that, after formulating a truce, the demigods and demons should churn the ocean of milk. The rope would be the biggest serpent, known as Vasuki, and the churning rod would be Mandara mountain. Poison would also be produced from the churning, but it would be taken by Lord Shiva, and so there would be no need to fear it. Many other attractive things would be generated by the churning. The Lord warned the demigods not to be captivated by such things, nor should the demigods be angry if there were some disturbances. After advising the demigods in this way, the Lord disappeared from the scene. Hmm. We can see how, I mean, this is how we have to approach the Lord with all humility, and we have to glorify Him because that shows our state of consciousness. That we are, the Lord is pleased when we are in the proper frame of mind, then He likes to, respond to us. If we just go and put a petition without even knowing, rather, without acknowledging Him, without glorifying Him, if we want to go and ask a favor from someone, we have to make ourselves very, very humble. And He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have to make ourselves very, very humble and acknowledge we don't know everything about Him, but at least we should know as devotees that in this material creation, how He is present, how everything is situated in Him. And so that shows then we are very conscious about Him. We are aware about His, glories and how He is present and how He can do anything. And so, in this way, when we surrender and acknowledge our position as a servant and Him as great and our master, then He's pleased. Then He understands our problem and also has a completely out of the box solutions for it. And not only that, He also talks about what problems they may face and how they can solve those problems and how not to be tempted. Like when we are doing devotional service also, there are so many material things which will come our way, which may be very, very attractive. But we should not get enamored by those things, forgetting, and think they are for our enjoyment. Rather, we should be always fixed on what we want out of life, the goal, the ultimate goal of attaining the lotus feet of Krishna. And He also says, don't be angry if there were some disturbances. So, in every situation, this holds true. After advising the demigods in this way, the Lord disappeared from the scene. Following the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the demigods established a peace with Maharaja Bali, the king of the demons. That was something very difficult because they're constantly enemies. And yet, because the Lord advised, they had to swallow their pride and go and make a truce because it was very difficult for Indra and all the devatas to become humble, and that too to the asuras who are always deriding them. And so there's no always trying to take away their position, their um, whatever the nectar, always at loggerheads. They want their kingdom, always envious of the devatas. But still, they had to swallow all that And they went. And luckily, it was the king of the Asuras was Maharaja Bali, a great devotee. So he was, even though he's fighting for the Asuras, still he was guided by dharmic principles. He was not like a total Asura who just didn't care for anything. He was always, he wanted peace. He didn't unnecessarily fight. He was satisfied being in Patala, but at the same time, if provoked or if it was felt it was just, then he would attack. Because when the Devatas, they killed his father, I think, yes, Virochana, then he also went and, fought with Indra and so on. So, to avenge, he also did that. But then he was more reasonable, so the demigods could go and barter a sort of, truce, so that they both could work together, collaborate. Then both the demons and the demigods started for the ocean, taking Mandara mountain with them. That was also the instruction by the Lord. As a churning rod, just imagine the scale of the churning, huge. Because of the great heaviness of the mountain, the demigods and demons became fatigued, and some of them actually died. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu appeared there on the back of the carrier Garuda, and by his mercy he brought these demigods and demons back to life. The Lord then lifted the mountain with one of his hands and placed it on the back of Garuda. The Lord sat on the mountain and was carried to the spot of the churning by Garuda, who placed the mountain in the middle of the sea. Then the Lord asked Garuda to leave that place, because as long as Garuda was present, Vasuki would not come there, because of, the serpents and the eagle are always at loggerheads. And so, because one is the prey for another, so naturally, so Vishnu asked Garuda to leave the place. Okay, text 1. Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Stuta Sura Ganair Bhagavan Harir Ishvara Teshan Avir Bhud Rajan Sahasrar Kodhaya Dyutihi. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, O King Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, being thus worshipped with prayers by the demigods and Lord Brahma, appeared before them. His bodily effulgence resembled the simultaneous rising of thousands of suns. So, this is the effulgence coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, in the Isopanishads, it is mentioned, Oh my Supreme Lord, in the prayers. It's like a prayer to the Lord, and in that it says that, Oh my Lord, please don't keep me hidden from my vision through the glaring effulgence which emanates from your body. And please reveal your form to me. Because the impersonalists, they normally, because they are against, they don't want to, they think that Lord is formless. Because they have so much envy for him. And so the Lord also keeps his form hidden, and all they see is the glaring effulgence. So initially, when the Lord appeared, there's so much effulgence that they could not even see him. And the effulgence resembled the simultaneous rising of thousands of suns. Tenaiva sahasa sarve deva pratihate kshana napasyan kham dishah kshaunim atmanam cha kuto vibhum. The vision of all the demigods was blocked by the Lord's effulgence. Thus they could see neither the sky, the directions, the land, nor even themselves. What to speak of seeing the Lord who was present before them? So they were totally blinded by the brightness. Text 3 to 7. Virincho Bhagavan Drishtva Saha Sarvena Tam Tanum Swacham Marakata Shamam Kanja Garbha Runekshanam Tapta Hema Vadhate Na Lasat Kaushe Yavasasha Prasanna Charu Sarvangim Sumukim Sundara Bhruvam Mahamani Kiritena Keyurabhyam Chabhushitam Karnabharana Nirvata Kapola Sri Mukambujam Kanchikalap Kalapa Valaya Haranupura Shobhitam Kaustubha Bharanam Lakshmim Bibratim Vanamalinim Sudarshanadibhi Swastrair Murtimadbhir Upasitam Tushtabha Deva Pravara Sasarva Purusham Param Sarvamara Ganaishakam Sarvangair Avanim Gatai. Lord Brahma, along with Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva, saw the crystal clear personal beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose blackish body resembles a Markata gem, whose eyes are reddish like the depths of a lotus, who is dressed with garments that are yellow like molten gold, and whose entire body is attractively decorated. Hmm. So they saw his beautiful, smiling, lotus like face, crowned by a helmet bedecked with valuable jewels. The Lord has attractive eyebrows, and his cheeks are adorned with earrings. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva saw the belt on the Lord's waist, the bangles on his arms, the necklace on his chest, and the ankle belts on his legs. The Lord is bedecked with flower garlands. His neck is decorated with the Kaustuba gem, and he carries with him the goddess of fortune and his personal weapons, like his disc and club. When Lord Brahma, along with Lord Shiva and the other demigods, thus saw the form of the Lord, they all immediately fell to the ground, offering their obeisances. So, this description we have heard many times. This is the color, which the Lord's complexion is like Marakata gem. Blackish body resembles a Marakata gem. Eyes are reddish, like the depths of a lotus, and garments that are yellow like molten gold, all very bright and beautiful, and whose entire body is attractively decorated. So valuable jewels, and each jewel is being described, the Kaustuba jewel and his earrings and the belt and the bangles and the necklace, ankle belts. So the Lord is fully bedecked. And each time, I mean, we see the deities, even that form, from that we can guess. Each time, all the uh, jewels become more glorified or more beautified by being resting on the Lord. Is so beautiful. So each time there is always a description of the Lord, because it is not, normally when we see human beings, when we are more advanced spiritually, we don't concentrate so much on the form. We concentrate more on what they're speaking. Prabhupada said, for example, for a guru, he said, judge him by what he's speaking, not by what he's looking, how he looks, or how he speaks. No, we're so much attracted by the form in the material world. We like the external form. We are just enamored rather than seeing the real truth behind something. But for the Lord, for example, I mean, this is true like Putana. Putana, she represents hypocrisy. What is that? She's actually an ugly asura, grotesque and evil. And how did she dress herself up as most beautiful? And she was almost as attractive as Vishnu. She made herself so beautiful and very charming, smiling, and as if she's very, very, well disposed to everyone, charming, and so on. And she came. And when she entered Vrajabhumi, all the people were so enamored, including Mother Yashoda and Rohini. All of them thought, oh, she's some demigoddess who's come, and her blessings for Krishna will be so nice. So they happily gave the child to her arms to play or fondle or milk, give her milk or breast milk, whatever. They trusted her so much. Externally, because she was so beautiful, but internally, she was exactly the opposite of that. So the material world is very deceptive to go by externals. That's why we should not be carried away by external forms so much. But in Kali Yuga, looks are everything. Everybody is trying to impress by wearing the right clothes, the right manners, the right etiquettes. In fact, they have all these personality courses. I was wondering, what do they teach? And then I found that it is all so superficial things, such superficial things. How do you dress, and how do you walk, and how do you sit, and what do you say to a person? All superficial. That's not your personality is so, superficial. But the real personality is developed in Krishna consciousness. We know that when somebody comes, they're very timid, or they have inferiority complex, or they are aggressive, whatever their personality traits may be, which is preventing them from being confident or being successful in communicating with others, which is so important in today's world. So they automatically undergo a transformation because the real personality is being touched. So that is how. But for the Lord, his inside outside are all the same. There is only beauty inside, and that manifests itself outside also as extremely beautiful. And so every time a devotee sees him, he's just mesmerized, as if those devotees who have seen him a few times, even for them, each time it is like there's something, its beauty is so striking. Everybody knows he's wearing yellow clothes. Everybody knows he's bluish in color. But every time, why is there a description with so much, rapture, with so much of excitement and surprise, as if they're seeing for the first time? Because it is like that. It is so spellbounding that even if you have seen every time, still every time you see him, you'll feel, wow, how so beautiful. So that is Krishna. They never tire. And in the spiritual world, that is how Radha and Krishna, for example, Krishna is always looking at Radharani, and he doesn't want to take his eyes off her. He keeps seeing her every day and he's not satisfied because every time he sees her, the next time he sees, he finds that she's become more beautiful. That is why, we have this uh, what's that Govardhan pastime in which Krishna lifts the hill, and for 7 days there's great feast for everybody's eyes and hearts. It's a festival because Krishna is standing there for 7 days and nights. Everybody is able to see him throughout non-stop with no obstructions at all. Because normally during the day, the gopas are with Krishna, so they're very happy. And as soon as the moon comes, they start cursing the moon. Who asked you to come so early? Now we have to be separated from Krishna. But for the gopis, the night time is the best. They welcome the moon, and then they're looking forward to meet him in the night and spend time with him until daybreak. And then as soon as the sunlight begins to, the dawn appears, they have to go back, and that time they start cursing the sun. So nobody has constant, not even his parents. They also have to stay away from Krishna whole day, just a few hours in the morning and the evening. That's all they get to see him. So during those 7 days, non-stop, he was seeing. But you know what? Krishna feels that every time I see Radharani, he just turns away, and then again he looks. He finds that she has become more beautiful. So for him also, it was a feasting because he could see her non-stop, and all others also were watching Krishna's beauty all around. I mean, everybody, even though Krishna was facing some people only, the people at the back, they also felt by his inconceivable Shakti that he was seeing them. He was seeing only them, and he was facing them. Everybody felt that 360 degrees. Everybody felt Krishna was seeing them. So that is the astounding beauty of Krishna. Every time you will find the same description given, and every time I'm sure when if we were to we have read so many times from the Srimad Bhagvatam and other wherever descriptions of Krishna is there that he is wearing pitambar, vastra. He's wearing yellow dress and he's blue colored and he's wearing kaustubamani and he's got all these beautiful ornaments and he's wearing a helmet on his head. All that we know. And yet, if we were to see him, we'll be so shocked and we'll be so much overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of it that again we'll start describing, oh, Krishna, how beautiful you look in all these things. So that is spiritual life because nothing gets stale or hackneyed or, oh, I've seen it all. Like in material world, you've seen once or twice one place, then you say, no, I've been there. I don't want to go anymore. But that is not true of spiritual life. So here the Brahma and Shiva, they were describing, glorifying his beauty. No, they're not yet, um, they just saw. That's it. They were just overwhelmed. And now Brahma will start glorifying him. Lord Brahma said, oh, Sri Brahma Uvacha, Ajata Janma, this is verse text 8. Sri Brahma Uvacha, Ajata Janma Sthiti, Samyamaya, Gunaya Nirvana, Sukarnavaya, Anur Animne, Pariganya Dhamne, Mahanubhavaya Namo Namaste. Lord Brahma said, although you're never born, your appearance and disappearance as an incarnation never cease. Um, okay, that is what in the spiritual world, he's never born. He is always there. And yet, in the material world, he has this pastimes of appearance and disappearance, as if, it's not a material birth. But for those who are not schooled in the philosophy, they'll think, oh, he appears and he disappears. So, like that, in the material world, it happens. You're always free from the material qualities, and you are the shelter of transcendental bliss, resembling an ocean eternally existing in your transcendental form. You are the supreme subtle of the most extremely subtle. We therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto you, the Supreme, whose existence is inconceivable. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita 4.6, Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Although I'm unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I'm the Lord of all sentient beings, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So, all these things are already he has told. And Brahmaji is also glorifying him in similar words. He's saying, although you're never born. And Krishna is also saying, although I am unborn, your appearance and disappearance as an incarnation never cease. Brahmaji says. And here he also says, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. And so that is what he is saying. Then, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Thus, although the Supreme Lord is unborn, there is no cessation to his appearance in different forms as incarnations like Lord Krishna and Lord Rama. Since his incarnations are eternal, the various activities performed by these incarnations are also eternal. The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not appear because he is forced to do so by karma, like ordinary living entities who are forced to accept a certain type of a body. So there is nothing material in him at all. It is to be understood that the Lord's body and activities are all transcendental, being free from the contamination of the material modes of nature. These pastimes are transcendental bliss to the Lord. The word Apariganya Dhamne is very significant. There is no limit to the Lord's appearance in different incarnations. All of these incarnations are eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. So, saying that um, your appearance and disappearance as an incarnation never cease, is constantly coming as various incarnations. Incarnation means one who descends. So in the spiritual world, he's got there's multiple forms and different multiple types of spiritual worlds. We have the Vaikuntha Loka in which there are so many planets, Vishnu Lokas in which his different forms are there. And then above that, you have Ayodhya Dham. And somewhere in then above that, you also have a Jagannath Puri Dham. Then above that is the Dwaraka Dham, then Mathura Dham and Vrindavan and Shvetadweep. So, such a wide variety of lokas, and within each loka, the Vishnu loka, I mean, where so many different forms are there. And although I'm unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, no, first Brahmaji, you're always free from the material qualities, and you are the shelter of transcendental bliss resembling an ocean. Anandambudhi Vardhanam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in the Sikshashtakam, Ananda, you are an ocean, Ananda Ambudhi, ocean of bliss, resembling an, so he is the shelter of ocean of bliss. Anandambudhi Vardhanam. It keeps increasing. Ocean normally doesn't increase in its level. It's always stays as it is. It doesn't overflow. But here, this Ananda, which is coming from the Supreme Lord, is ever increasing, eternally existing in your transcendental form. You are the supreme subtle of the most extremely subtle. So subtle that we cannot at all conceive him of him, even through we may be able to see, maximum we can see is a atom, and of course so, but he's even finer than any of these atomic particles. Is so fine that he's impossible to see with the material eyes. And so we have to refine ourselves in order to be able to see the Lord. The devatas are refined to a large extent. I don't know what percentage, but because they're refined, sometimes at least they see Vishnu because he's there in the higher planetary systems. He's there on the right side of the Meru mountain, Shweta Dvipa, where Vishnu is residing. There's another Shvetadvipa. Two Shvetadvipas are there, and Lord Vishnu is one has got milk ocean, that we know, Dhruvaloka, Ksheerasagara, and another one in which the salt water is there. There also Lord Vishnu is reclining on the serpent bed. But all these forms, whenever they come, are impossible for our eyes to see when we are gross. When we are attached to this material world and we think our bodies are also, I am this body, then we're not able to see the Lord because we cannot see ourselves also as the soul. We don't, we identify so much with the body, then that's why even if we see the Lord, we take him to be matter. For example, the deity. The deity, the authorized deity in the temple is actually Krishna. But we see only the matter. We see is a stone or wood or whatever. That's what we see. Why? Because of our gross attachment to our body, our identification with our body. The more we forget about the body, and the more we become self-realized, I am actually Atman, more we'll have faith that on the subtle aspect of the Lord also, his subtle form. That is what I want to see, the beautiful form of the Lord, who is there. And then we can, that is why we are chanting every day, so that the mantra will purify our consciousness and elevate our soul so that we become more refined, more tuned with our spiritual selves and not this gross body. And then one day we'll become so refined that we can actually see the Lord. That is, of course, by His mercy. One day He will reveal Himself, and by just refinement, I mean, is very subtle. People, I mean, in the material world, people don't even know about the mind, intelligence, and ego. Everybody knows everybody has these three things, but they don't know, they cannot see it. So sometimes they doubt, they don't know much about it. Even the modern psychology, psychiatry, at very nascent, they hardly know much about how the mind works. But we have Bhagavad Gita because it knows everything, how everything is working. Krishna, not it, I'm sorry, Krishna knows. And so that is the best psychology book. You know how the three modes are working on a person, and then higher than that, higher than this gross senses is the mind, higher than the mind is the material intelligence, higher than the material intelligence is the false ego, and above all these things is the Atma proper. And how the workings happen, how the soul is covered, and how we can raise the three modes. I mean, how we can grow from on Tamoguna, how people behave, in Rajoguna, how they behave, and in Sattva Guna, and how the soul is entrapped in this material world. And that is why the depression and all these mental, uh, you know, what you call disorders are happening, because the soul is not been in touch with its actual self, and it's always been play acting. You will have all these kind of disorders, no? They have what multi personality disorders and all that. So all crazy things happen because we have been relying on the mind so much. Mind only becomes mad, right? We say the mind is in disorder. And why does the mind go into disorder? Because it's uncontrolled. It is supposed to be under the control of the intelligence, which is supposed to be under the control of the soul. So one has to be doing spiritual activities, then automatically all these things will be controlled. We never had in India all these maybe there was some rare one a place where they treated mad people, because always in material world there are all kinds of people. But now it's become like rampant, because nobody is trying to control their mind. Rather, they're trying to indulge the mind through sense gratification. And so many disorders, abnormal behaviors, unrestricted enjoyment, and more people are being, through advertisements and media kind of trying to make people more engaged in material activities. So we know that this is the best psychology book, and we have the best medicine also, without injecting or giving all kinds of medicines. Of course, when it becomes too the disorder is too severe, and they are not ready to take to any spiritual practice, then nowadays, I mean, there's no other go but for some time at least you have to take to medicine. But still, unless they're a devotee and are ready to also come for spiritual things and then enjoy the bliss, somehow they come for the programs and they enjoy the bliss and serve, be with the devotees, serve them. They go and serve the cows. Cows are mode of goodness, so they spend some time with the cows, embrace them. Then their soul is purified and they listen to Hare Krishna mantra. Soul is purified, and then they come out of the clutches of the mind and they are cured. This is the amazing truth. This is the I mean, Bhagavad Gita has the complete science of all aspects of our body. Atma refers to body, mind, soul, body, mind, intelligence, and soul. And Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyahum. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. And we're just 500 years from where the Lord descended himself and he gave us another incarnation, the Hare Krishna mantra also. So we are right in the midst of this irreligious times when the Lord has descended and tried to, I mean, he has given us the method by which we can kill all evil. And so the Lord is constantly appearing in different forms as incarnations, like Lord Krishna and like Lord Rama. Since these incarnations are eternal, the various activities performed by these incarnations are also eternal. The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not appear because he is forced to do so by karma, like ordinary living entities who are forced to accept certain type of body. Karma is not at all pleasant. You're forced to act in a particular way. You have no choice. You don't take birth according to where you want, whom you want, nothing like that, according to your karma. And it's a big burden, so many duties you have to perform. Then life is full of all these things where you're forced against your will. In material life, it's not at all nice to be forced like that. But the Lord, for him, everything is ananda, bliss, effortless. We see how even lifting the Govardhana hill is like he's enjoying himself. The hill is just placed, not even the Acharya says, not even on the finger, but on his nail. So light. He is carefree and he's enjoying himself. Though Mother Yashoda was always in a maternal feeling, oh, my little son, how can he hold this big mountain in his arms? And then even his friends are feeling, oh, poor Krishna, his hands must be aching, and they do massage for him. And Mother Yashoda's threatening Govardhan, make yourself light, don't be so heavy and disturb my son, otherwise I'll curse you, and so on. Those are all, out of love for Krishna, all these exchanges take place, but he is enjoying himself. So that is Krishna, free from contamination. No, not because of karma, because he's coming as his own Leela. He wants to enjoy and have a good time, and he's coming, but at the same time, the Lord doesn't do, like in a linear fashion. Now I finished this, and now next I will do this. That is for us. The Lord multitasks so many things at one go. He will come for his own enjoyment. He'll come for delivering all the other people, and then he'll have so many other purposes. By his one thing, he'll achieve so many things. So he comes. He's not forced, and it's to be understood the Lord's body and activities are all transcendental, being free from the contamination of the material modes of nature. Passion and ignorance are though impossible for the Lord to have. That is why even the rasa dance and all that, people misunderstand and think that Krishna is also overpowered with lust and he's running after the gopis. And once Krishna told, once the gopis, they wanted to cross Yamuna river because Durvas Muni had come, and they thought that it is very auspicious to serve a great sage and get blessings from him. So they took all, items, cooking items. They thought they'll go cook and serve him there. But then they had to cross the Yamuna river. So they asked Krishna, how do we cross? And it is, during the monsoon time, she's full high. And how do we walk across? I mean, how do we go? And Krishna said, all you have to do is tell the Yamuna river that if Krishna is a true brahmachari, and that he has never been attracted by girls, or he has never touched or reveled with girls, then please give way. So Gopi started giggling. What is this, Krishna? You're all the time with us. And Krishna said, you go and tell this. And if you are a witness to that, and that also to Yamuna, then please give way. So as soon as they mentioned this, so the Yamuna gave way and they went to the other side. And then Durvas Muni was sitting there, so they cooked a very nice feast. And he ate so much. He ate a lot. Whatever they'd done, it is all finished, over. And then at the end, because now to come back, they tried the same mantra which Krishna had given, but it didn't work. Because now Durvamsa Muni was the one who was sending them back. So he had to tell something. So they asked him, how do we cross the Yamuna? Then he said, you go and tell the Yamuna, if Durvasa Muni has not eaten any food at all, then, that he is not, yeah, uh, he has not enjoyed any meal, then please give way. If you're a witness to that, please give way. And Yamuna immediately parted. All the waves on one side, it went the other way, you know, made way in between for them to walk across. So then they came back and they told Krishna, we really are so confused. You are also not telling lies, and you're also telling lies. Durvasa Muni is also telling lies, and Yamuna, the witness, she is also telling lies. How can it be that, Durvasa Muni, we cooked nicely and fed him, and he's saying that I never ate anything? And you are saying that you are never with girls, or, I mean, you're not attracted, or you've never touched any girls and all that. And then Yamuna Devi to be witness, I mean, to be actually confirming all this, all three of you are liars. So then Krishna explained to them, because he is transcendental. So transcendence means in spiritual things, there is no sense gratification. It's just ananda, bliss, and it is very pure. And that's why even by worshipping Krishna, human beings overcome their lust. They become purified of their, desires for sense gratification. Then how can it be that Krishna has these kind of mode of passion, desires to enjoy or exploit women? So his love for them is really spiritual love, which is so much of, true, deep love, which is so selfless. That is why he said it is not like, the normal rajogun in the material world. So Krishna is not like that at all. He is not after any ladies, or it is not that he's feeling very lusty and then he feels if they are not there, then he gets disturbed. Nothing. He's Atmarama. And so that is one thing. And then Durvasa Muni, he has food also, not through, I mean, he's accepting prasadam in a very devotional way, in a transcendental way. So he's not indulging his senses. I mean, like when we eat, we see all the tastes and everything. But like Prabhupada said, we are supposed to honor prasadam. And that means every morsel is, we are aware of Krishna. Of course, the tongue will also taste all the wonderful taste and everything, but it's not gratifying. It is eating in a very devotional mood. That's how the perfected being, and we are supposed to eat like that. But somewhere, you know, we're not, as soon as the food appears before us, we forget Krishna. And we're just, enjoying with our senses all the tasty meals. So, in that sense, Durvas Muni was not eating like that. And so Yamuna Devi is, she is naturally knowing this truth. She gave way, then the gopis were convinced. So that is how great is transcendental. These pastimes are transcendental bliss to the Lord. Everything he does is simply bliss, just ananda, pure happiness, just where exchange of love happens. Whatever he does is full of love. And that is why he's always blissful. And that love, what is love? Love means that you want to serve the other person. So selfless love. So that is what is gives ananda, Satchit and Ananda. And that Ananda happens only with Bhagavan, the Supreme Lord. Every jiva wants to, I mean, when he's awakened to his actual position, he wants to serve the Lord ecstatically. And when he wants to serve the Lord, he feels blissful. So we can understand how the Lord is in a very pure, state of mind. He's always blissful. But he's the master, of course. But he's the master controlling everyone, controlling all the controllers of this material world also. But he is controlled by the love of his devotees. That is his true nature, which he enjoys the most. Srimati Radharani, Mother Yashoda, the two most, the dearmost people in his life, topmost, who are controlling him in, like we know in the Kartik month. Oh, I'm supposed to tell about the Kartik month. So this is how we see this month, how it is about, how Krishna was controlled by love. And that's why this month is so glorified. This month is called Kartika because it's the month of Radharani, and she herself is called as Kartika Devi. And because this month belongs to Radharani, it's very dear to Krishna. And also on this month only, Ma Yashoda bound Krishna not with ordinary rope, but by the rope of her love on Deepavali day. And so, for this entire month, Krishna says that if you offer, in the Puranas it's mentioned, if you show Padma Puran, right, if you offer lamp to this form, then whoever it may be, the worst sinful person, maybe he's a Nastic also, he can get he will go back to Godhead. So that is how powerful. We have many pastimes of this Damodar month, Vrata, simple things. If we do, then we get unlimited benedictions. Even Satyabhama herself, she was actually, what was her name? In the previous one, Yuga. Uh, what was her name? I forget. Gunavati. Because when she became a queen, she asked Krishna, I'm so happy being your queen and being your servant and serving you and having your association. how did I get this good fortune? So Krishna said, actually, in the previous life, you were Gunavati, you were a Brahmana's daughter. And that Brahmana, he got her married to his own disciple. He didn't have any son, and the son-in-law stayed with him, and he was very obedient and treated him like his own father. And one day, both her father and husband went to the forest to get some things, I think dhruva grass. And that time, some monster attacked them and they died. So after that, Gunavati was very upset. But then she just, survived somehow just doing austerities. And the one thing that she did was two things that she followed was Ekadashi Vrata and Damodar Vrata. And he said, because of that, you attained me. I mean, she went back to Godhead. And I mean, when she was very, very weak still. So, what is the Damodar Vrata? You have to have an early morning bath, get up early, have an early morning bath, and do some spiritual practices, which we always, as ISKCON devotees, everybody is doing this vrata throughout the year. So it's not something special we need to do. We just have to continue doing all that. And in case people have got new people who have some problems about doing these things, they can think, okay, this month I'll do more steadfastly. Or even devotees can become more, you know, um, more steady in whatever they're doing. If I will not miss any Mangalarati, getting up early, bathing, chanting, studying books, doing Mangalarati, all these things. That is one thing. Then chanting of rounds, of course, more. And there is certain things like, of course, reading Srimad Bhagvatam and all that. And then some slokas from different, also, because this month is a month of Srimati Radharani. So the Gopi Geet and all that people recite. And so basically, for devotees, it's not anything more than, I mean, some people keep vrata of fasting for once a day only I'll eat and all that. But that's not very much emphasized by Srila Prabhupada. In fact, he hardly promoted that. Because if you're just feeling weak and you just are not able to function fully, better to eat normally. And the real vrata is making other people also aware of this, opportunity for them to offer lamps. So the Damodar thing, you can make people offer lamps to them, and you can narrate this katha to people, give them the card so that every day make them also offer lamps in their homes. So, preaching, you can do more spiritual activities, chant more rounds, sing some songs like Gopi Geet and all that. Um, then also they say reciting Radha Kripa Kataksha and all that. Because this month Radharani is extremely merciful. If you go to Radharani, then it's easier to overcome all the problems. She is our mother, and she's so very, very, what do you call, compassionate, and especially in this month. And if Radharani gives us her shelter, then that's it. Krishna will automatically accept us. We don't have to individually again go and ask Krishna. If we are with Radharani and she has given us shelter, okay, Krishna will accept. So this month is very, very special for devotees, because just by focusing, by doing everything in a more focused way, in a more realized way. Of course, we stop eating urad dal for this month, or anything which may be, or that other masoor dal, which is considered to be very heavy. This is hardly an austerity. So for ISKCON devotees, it's not much of a special extra austerity, except just that we make sure every day we offer the lamps to him and sing the Damodarashtaka, and also read some extra books, Srimad Bhagvatam or Krishna pastimes, and so on. So more spiritual activities we can increase. So that is full of ananda. So what happened on Deepavali day? Everybody in the house of Nanda Maharaja were very busy. And Ma Yashoda got down from the bed. She thought, she left Krishna sleeping and she thought that I will go and churn the butter and all fast, because once Krishna wakes up, I'll not be able to do much work. So she quietly came down and she went, she got ready and then she started churning the butter. And while she was churning, she was thinking of her dear Krishna. Even that was separation. Krishna was in the other room only, and she was just outside that room churning butter, but she was feeling separation from him. And so she was recollecting all the pastimes of baby Krishna. He was how old? I think he was just 3 years and 4 months, less than that, because this happened in Gokul, and they stayed in Gokul only for 3 years and 4 months. So before that, Krishna was still a baby, and um, so she was recollecting, she was singing in her own way, making her own, composing the all the events of Krishna's amazing pastimes, and in her own tune, she was singing. And what happened was her bangles, anklets, and waist belts, they were all also jingling because she was churning butter, and they were like kartalas. And the rod, which made a big noise as she was churning, was like the mridanga. So she was engaged in a sankirtana while churning butter. So she was not just doing physical activity, manually just doing, churning butter, but everything was transcendental. While she was doing, she was in complete, uh, you know, meditation on Krishna. So the gopis, and especially Ma Yashoda and all are Nitya Siddhas, and they are not, though they are staying in Vrindavan in very simple conditions, right? They are like, their lives are very, very simple, and they are doing just ordinary work, and they are Vaishyas, and they're doing household duties and all that. But they're greatest of all yogis, because whatever they're doing, they're only meditating on Krishna. Everything is for his pleasure. That is what we are struggling to attain in the material world. And they are already engaged so naturally. So then Krishna suddenly woke up and he was feeling very hungry. He looked for his mother. She was not around. What happened to mother today? And he went. He was, imagine the Supreme Lord, we saw how great he is. And he was behaving like a small child. Got up and he cried and he rubbed his eyes. And then he walked towards his mother. But very intelligently, he went and put his hand on the rope and stopped the churning, so that she'll pay attention to him. And he climbed over her lap, because he didn't wait for her to lift him up, because the lap also belonged to him only. So much of surrender. So he climbed onto a lap, and Ma Yashoda stopped churning and started feeding him milk from her breasts, which were flowing like a fountain. There was no need for Krishna to even suck. The milk was just pouring because her love was love for Krishna. And Krishna, he doesn't need all this. He's a transcendental person. But he was exchanging love with Mother Yashoda. So Mother Yashoda was also experiencing great bliss. And so just watching his beautiful face and everything. This happened for quite some time, and Krishna wasn't satisfied at all. And he was just drinking milk. And suddenly Mother Yashoda saw that the milk was overflowing, onto the fire. The milk was pouring into the fire, and she thought, oh my God, this is the best of the milk, which is, from the best of the cows who are fed the best of grasses, fragrant grasses. The milk is so fragrant and tasty, only for Krishna. She was boiling it, and if everything boils over, then nothing, Krishna will not have anything. So, for to save that, she left Krishna, who was not yet full drunk the milk. She put him down on the floor and she ran to attend to that. And the acharyas say actually everything is in the spiritual world is personified. So the milk is also a person. And the milk was thinking, Krishna is drinking all the milk from Mother Yashoda. Where will he be hungry to drink my milk? So, what is the use of my living if my existence is of no use? So, he was trying to jump and commit suicide. And Mother Yashoda ran and tried to save by taking the pot off. And the milk actually subsided as soon as she came there and she was trying to lift him, and the milk was feeling ashamed. Oh, look at my thoughts. Because of this, I stopped the Lord's drinking milk like that. So, meanwhile, Krishna very intelligently, what he did, he was very, very upset with his mother, leaving me. Imagine, I am most important to my mother, but now she has left me on the floor and ran. Somewhere else is more important. Something else is more important than me. And so he took the small stone which is used for grinding spices and he hit the bottom of the pot without making any noise. And then all the curd was overflowing. Meanwhile, Krishna went to hide inside another room, and there were so many pots there filled with butter. So he just broke some pots out of his anger. Then he took some butter, ate it himself, then took some butter and ran outside with his toddler steps, but also leaving marks of his buttery footprints on the floor. And he walked towards the gate because there he thought all the monkeys would come. Monkeys were his friends because they were also his, what do you call, co. I mean, they were partners in stealing butter from different people's homes. Because the monkeys, they are the air force of his team. Because they would go jumping from one house to another and see which house fresh butter has been made and which house the owner is not there. The lady has gone out somewhere to do some other work. Then they would jump up and down over there and or give some sign to Krishna and his sakas that this house you can come. So they were all, buddies. I mean, they were part of his team. So he wanted to feed the monkeys butter, and they were also enjoying themselves. And suddenly their face froze and they ran away. So Krishna knew that Mother Yashoda is there. From the side, he saw that Mother Yashoda was coming with a stick in her hand. So Krishna quickly jumped down and started running for his life. And Mother Yashoda was also hot on the chase, but Krishna was faster. He was really walking, jumping, or rather, strides, such quick strides he was making so that Mother Yashoda should not catch. And Mother Yashoda could not run for too long. And so she sat down, panting and puffing, and it's said that the flowers in her hair fell down because of her this running. And the acharyas explained that the flowers, they felt that, oh, Mother Yashoda is going with a stick, trying to control the Supreme Lord, and the Lord is getting scared of her and running. How great she is! And so they that we're not worthy of being on top of her head. We'll be at her feet. So it fell down, and then she sat down, puffing and panting. And Krishna, after running ahead, huh? Therefore, not to when. Mm. So then Krishna, he was running ahead, and then he noticed that Mother was not there chasing him. So he looked back and he was very concerned for Ma Yashoda. She was panting and puffing, and she sat down. He said, "Are you okay, Ma?" Then she said, "Come to me, Krishna." And Krishna said, "No, I don't want to come because you've got a stick on your hand." So then, okay, Mother Yashoda threw the stick. And Krishna, like a small child, so trusting and innocent, he ran to his mother's arms. And mother also, hugged him, caressed him, and, very loving exchanges took place. Then her mood suddenly changed. I mean, just for some time. Then she thought, today I'm going to really punish Krishna, because enough is enough. What kind of behavior is this? Breaking all the pots, stealing butter, and distributing it to the monkeys. This is what all the gopis keep complaining. And then this becomes a habit. It will be very bad when he grows up. So I have to correct him. And today she was very, very stern. She said that you're too mischievous. Today I am going to bind you to a mortar so that let us see what you do. Are you going to stand here whole day? No eating anything, no playing with anyone, just stay there. That's your punishment. And that day, what happened? Balarama had gone with his mother Rohini to his uncle Upananda's house. And so they were also not there. And Krishna was thinking all this would not have happened if Rohini auntie and Balrama was here. They wouldn't have allowed all this to happen. So anyway, Mother Yashoda caught hold of her son, and she went to get ropes from the Goshala, got a long rope and put it around the this thing mortar, made Krishna stand there, and when she tried to tie the rope, it was 2 inches short. So then she said, "How can this be possible? I got a long rope." Then she went and got even longer rope, then combined it, and then again she tried. Again, it was 2 inches short. What is this? So again, she was so confused. Meanwhile, Krishna started, making a big noise. He was, "Oh, what has happened? Why mother is punishing me?" And all that. He was crying. So all the neighboring ladies also came, and they were watching the fun. Oh, today Krishna must have done something very naughty. That's why Mother Yashoda is punishing him. So they were watching, and Mother Yashoda, they told afterwards, "Oh, it's okay, don't punish him," and all that. Your child is getting very scared. Mother Yashoda did not listen. Today I am going to tie him up. So she got all the ropes in the house, and however long it was, and even the neighbors helped by getting their ropes also from their homes. How much ever she made the rope long, every time she tried to put a knot, it was 2 inches less. How is this possible? Where is the rope all going into his stomach or what? And she said, even if it takes the whole day, I'm going to tie him up. But because she was sweating and panting and really tired, Krishna thought, okay, I'll be bound by her, I'll get tied. And so Ma Yashoda was able to tie him up. And so the acharyas say that, of course, this is amazing. All the devatas came on the sky and they eulogized Yashoda, that supreme lord whom everybody is terrified of, everybody is completely controlled by the lord. That lord is being controlled by Mother Yashoda, being chastised by him, and Krishna being so afraid of her, of a chastisement, ran, and now also he was crying. So this is so amazing. And so they were all glorifying like that. And meanwhile, Ma Yashoda tied him up and said that stay here. And he told some boys also, just have an eye on him and be here. And she warned Krishna, don't try to play any tricks, don't go anywhere, just stay here. And she went in to do her work. Meanwhile, how can how can Krishna ever keep quiet? So, of course, he was, because his mother had tied him up with love. It was not our motive, passion, anger that we sometimes take it out on people, even on children. It is our own. I mean, we get angry because the child is harassing me, And I am feeling so tired. We feel sorry for ourselves. But here, Mother Yashoda was completely only thinking of Krishna out of love for him and devotion. She tied that rope. So Krishna was enjoying actually this, exchange of love between them. And he didn't want to untie the rope. He could have done it, but he didn't do it. But instead, he told his friends, why don't you all go? They planned which house they will go and steal butter. So he sent them all to do their leela of stealing butter. And meanwhile, he thought, okay, let me just go around, crawling. This part is very narrow. Let me just move across the courtyard. And then his eyes fell on the two Arjuna trees. Those trees had been there from the very beginning. I mean, of his birth at least. It had been there for so many thousands of years. But Krishna noticed, he knew all the trees and everything which were there, but he never felt compassionate or anything. But now he noticed them because now he was aware there Nalakuera and Manigriva standing there because he himself was bound by the rope and he saw this is very sad to be tied up like that, to stay in one place and not go anywhere. And so he felt especially compassionate and he started crawling and he went between the trees and he went in a crooked way so that this mortar got stuck in between the two trees and he pulled hard. And then what happened? The roots of the tree, they got up, I mean, the trees got uprooted and they fell down with a big thud. And out came Nalagurva and Nalakuvera and Manigriva, the two sons of Kuvera, who had been cursed by Narada Muni for being so, depraved. They were drunk, they were naked and standing in the river. And when Narada Muni passed by, they didn't even cover their bodies. They were so shamefully behaving. So Narada Muni got very angry. You're misusing your great birth in Kuvera's family, and then you're misusing. You don't deserve to be here. You're shameless. You want to be naked? Go and be like trees and stand there. So then both of them fell at his feet and begged forgiveness. So Narada said, when Krishna comes, he will deliver you. So just to keep Narada Muni's blessings intact, Krishna remembered, he wanted to make that prophecy come true. He went in between the trees and he pulled hard, and then Nalakwera and Manigriva came out. So we see the great benefit of association with a devotee. Even a curse of a pure devotee is wonderful. Chastisement by Narada Muni. They were so much favored, they got liberated by they saw Krishna. And then they got their, I mean, they were in their effulgent bodies. They went around Krishna, glorified him, praised him, paid obeisances, and then left. So meanwhile, all the Vrajavasis heard the huge noise. They didn't know what had happened where, and because the two trees falling down, why? There was no storm or wind or anything, no rain, no lightning. How could these two trees suddenly fall down? So they all came running to see what had happened. And Nanda Baba also came and he saw Krishna there. Then, when Krishna saw his father, he started crying. And Nanda Baba picked him up. Oh, Lala, what happened to you? And who has done this? And who tied you up like this? He untied him first and then he picked him up. And he whispered into his ears, Mother only did it. So he saw that he was getting the sympathy of his father. So he maximized it. He was only clinging to his father. And the father also, he took Krishna and Balrama to the Goshala with some sugar from the kitchen. He took them there and fed them milk. Then they're not to Mother Yashoda for drinking milk. He also, and he was also a little upset with Mother Yashoda for tying Krishna up like this. Then after that, they had lunch. Rohini was giving them lunch and all that. and Krishna was enjoying himself, just sitting with his father and talking to him, eating along with him. And meanwhile, Yashoda was feeling so bad. She tried to come and take Krishna, but Krishna refused to even see her. So she was so feeling so distressed. She went inside a bedroom. Whole day she was starving and crying. And all the women of the household also seeing her, they also was not eat. They were not eating. They were also crying. So then, towards the evening, then Rohini asked Krishna, "See, your mother." No, first she told Nanda Maharaj, "See, Mother Yashoda, she has not eaten at all." So Nanda Maharaj said, "Yeah, if you do something wrong, then what, you have to atone for it." Something he said like that. So, no, but then, see, she is just, she's like feeling, I mean, she's fainting. She's feeling so distressed and all that. So then she asked Krishna, "Krishna, do you want to go to your mother?" Said, "No, I will be only with Nanda Baba." So then she had to say, "See, your mother, see, she is feeling so sad for having tied you up, and she is not eating anything. She's very sick and all that." So then Krishna agreed to go. And as soon as he went, he just went into her arms, and both of them hugged each other, and then it was all fine again. And Mother Yashoda was very happy. I mean, she was actually regretting, why did I tie up Krishna? All these big things happened, the two trees falling down and all that. And Krishna was put into danger, she felt. But anyway, the whole thing is that what comes out is the love, the love of Mother Yashoda, so pure that Krishna, he becomes, just like a toy in front of his devotees. And with all his friends also, they tease, pull Krishna's legs, they fight with him. Pradeep, just a minute. Um, just- hmm. So that is how in Vrindavan the mood is that Krishna is controlled by his devotees. And Srimati Radharani also tied up Krishna once in the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan. One day they were supposed to meet in one place in a forest, and Krishna was very late. So Radharani was very upset. He must have gone to meet someone else. So she was very, very angry. Just a minute. So Radharani was very upset with Krishna. So when he came there, she had a man, or rather, she was very angry with him. She didn't talk to him. And then, but of course, Krishna was begging forgiveness and all that. And then she took the rope and tied him up to a tree as punishment for not coming on time. So that way, this is the wonderful Leela of Krishna being tied, because it's impossible for anybody to tie up the Lord. And he agrees, in the Shastras and all that, we see how Mother Yashoda is being glorified as being greater than even Brahma, Shiva, or even Lakshmi Devi, who is the consort of Vishnu, but she doesn't get such privileges. But Mother Yashoda can chastise the Lord, make him get so afraid, make him be so. I mean, he's so dependent on Mother Yashoda. She is not at all aware of his greatness, of his rather powers and all that. She's only thinking that he's so helpless, he's dependent on me, and I have to take care of him. He is mine. She's very possessive. I mean, in the spiritual sense, she thinks he is mine. And feeling of ownership and feeling of responsibility. I have to take care of Krishna. So this is a very unique and very special mood of love which is there. And how can we get that love? By doing Vaidhi Bhakti very nicely. One day we will get, if we get Raganuga Bhakti, at that time, that means spontaneous love. By doing Vaidhi Bhakti properly, when all our anarthas are removed, then we have Nishtha, Ashakti, Ashakti, and all that is spontaneous love. We develop love for Krishna. We want to do because we love him, not because we have to do. Because we just cannot be without, oh, Krishna must be hungry. And I mean, we cannot fake it. It has to come through Anartha Nivritti after that. So when we come to the Raganuga platform, then we have to see, then we will know what mood, what rasa do I enjoy most? Vatsalya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav, Sakya Bhav, or any Seva, I mean, what is that? Dasya Bhav. And we have to choose one person in the spiritual world whom we, I mean, one of the Nitya Siddha devotees of the Lord. We cannot become them. We cannot become a Madhumangala or Sridhama or Lalita Vishaka or, Mother Yashoda. But we can follow in their footsteps. And by their mercy, we can also get that same ecstatic love for Krishna. So this is mentioned in the Nectar of Devotion. Okay, thank you very much, Hari Krishna. Hari Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, this is Geeta. Thank you so much for this beautiful class and so beautifully explained about Damodar Ashtakam. Damodar Leela. So Mataji, you mentioned that to feed the cows are very therapeutic and helpful. Do you mind explaining that a little more?
Cows. Of course, cows have, there's so much in Sattva Gun, and not only that, all the devatas are residing in the cow. Even Vishnu, Lakshmi, all of them are there. And so when we spend time with the cow, cows are very dear to Krishna also. So when you go and embrace, when you have physical proximity to the cow, like, you brush it or you, this thing, you, like, because under the neck, they're not able to scratch. So if you scratch it like that, and then you stroke it and you caress it, then you feed it grass or bananas or whatever they like, and then speak to it, chant Hare Krishna. The minute you start chanting Hare Krishna, you'll see the ears of the cows go up. They are very attentive because they are Sattva Guna, no? So they really enjoy. They're not like Tamu Guna, Rajo Guna, and don't like, and I'm there. You won't find a Nastic cow that, oh, I don't like to hear about Krishna. No cow will run away if you chant Hare Krishna and all that. So they like hearing all that. So you hug it. They also like being hugged. And we will benefit because the positive vibrations, from the cow, very, very soothing, because they are completely, imagine to be standing in one place. They are the only animals which are very happy staying in the same place, sitting or standing whole day also, unless just to eat grass, they'll move around. Otherwise, so peaceful, isn't it? And so that is why if we go and hug them, then that rubs off on us also. You feel very, very calm. It's got a very calming and very soothing effect. And very quickly you can overcome. In America, I heard that they even charge per hour to hug the cow. But in India, of course, it's free and you can go hug any cow. And there's a Goshala close to our temple, and we used to send some of the youngsters, who had some depression issues, some mental issues and all. Apart from Krishna consciousness, we said, go spend 1 hour in the Goshala and come. Go chant over there, hug the cow, feed the cow, stroke the
Hello,
cow.
Mataji, your voice is breaking. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Mataji. So that's why some people have besides milk, like Narendra Modi also has a cow in his house in Delhi,
Yes.
I didn't know this was the reason that all cows are there in it. Yeah, in the cow.
Mm.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Mandarat Pranam to you, Shubhapat ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. Mataji, can you please continue what you were saying that the youngsters were going, telling them to go to the Goshala?
Yeah.
Just
So
want
they
to know
went
that.
there and spent
What is the
time.
therapy you're doing with the youngsters? Can you continue that?
No, those who had these mental issues, they go and they stand near, spend the time there in the Goshala, the feed the cows and hug them, chant to them, um, like that. So just the presence only, staying with them has a very calming influence on the mind. And just after a few visits, they all felt very happy, very peaceful. Because the cows are very peaceful and very happy animals. They are sattva gun. You don't find anybody in sattva gun in Kali Yuga, and least of all animals. Cow is the only animal in sattva guna. And go brahmanya hitayacha, no, Krishna says. Cows and brahmanas are very dear to him. So that's why they are really very special.
So Mataji, here what happens is like, there were a bunch of cows. We have this airport area. So that is,
Mm,
there won't be any building coming in that area. So there are these people who get there, they have their farms and they allowed the farmland to be there. And they have,
mm,
so those cows, when you go close to them, they run away from you because, they're in so much of fear and they have this, like nose or ear or something pierced. So they're not kept very nicely here, the cows in America.
mm.
And when you
That's why
come,
they must be thinking finally they might slaughter us also.
yes, they're scared of human beings. So they won't come to you, they were like, they just, the moment they see human beings, they run away. They have so
Is
much
there
fear.
an Indian farm? Maybe if there is some Indian taking care of having a farm with the cows, then maybe you can go there.
Yeah. That is there. That's true. So thank you, Mataji, once again for the lovely class. And the Damodar Leela was going on and on. And it was wonderful. And you mentioned that Lord Krishna does multitasking. So generally, how we can understand from the Damodar Leela, when he was tied, already tied, and then he's trying to liberate the trees, and so many other, desires of different spiritual masters, he's fulfilling through his Leela. But for us in bhakti process, multitasking is not recommended, right? Because we should be more tasked at doing one thing rather than, unless we are short of time. And of course, with chanting, it has to be only chanting, no other task
No,
going
no,
on.
not like that.
Yeah.
Not with chanting. But when you're doing some work, the more you become a little more liberated, you're not the doer. When you understand I'm not doing everything, then you can do like, your attention 2 3 times. Maybe you're getting some phone calls also, and you're writing something, and then something your children are asking something, or in the kitchen also you have something on the stove. A woman multitasks now. She's forced to multitask. So also in spiritual, like Guru Maharaj is fantastic multitasker. I've
Mhm.
seen him. He'll be sitting on the computer. He'll be chatting with 4 different sets of people. Then we'll think, okay, he's fully engrossed and we'll be talking something, and sometimes he'll comment on what we are saying. And meanwhile, somebody else will be sitting and doing his booking for, for his round the world ticket. There'll be that's another very, very complicated thing. That also he'll be giving suggestions. And then somebody will be massaging his feet also meanwhile. And then he will answer questions also in between something. So he is really like that.
Yes.
So that is spiritual level you can.
Hmm.
And in the material level, the best this thing example is the mother. She takes care of the child, and somebody comes on the door, and then she has to cook, and like that. 3, 4 things she does, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I think Krishna has made the lady figures mothers like that because, they have so much in hand, and that talent is not so much there in men, right?
Ah, yes, men cannot multitask as well as women. Yes, that's why. You just see in the modern setup also, they go to jobs, they work same hours as men, then they come home, then again they have to be a full-time mother and wife also and take care of the children. For them, they don't think, oh, mother has gone down. Right from the beginning, they want the attention of the mother. They have to see to the house issues and so many things. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much for the class today and the Leela. And of course, I loved the story you told all of us about, how Krishna asked the Yamuna River. That was the first time in my ears. And, and you compared it to the mundane world, how people think that even the gopis are thinking, hey, you always, touching and doing this and that. But Yamuna is so new, actually, what Krishna is. So from a river, we can learn
Mm,
the qualities, the true qualities, and know Krishna just by
mm,
standing in front of the Yamuna River. She knew exactly how it is. And of course, it also reminded me of the story of Sita, when she had gone in the Ramayana, and there was
mm.
this thing that the she said, if I'm, like, uh, I mean, something about like I should enter the earth if I'm pure,
Ha, ha,
and
yes.
something, right? And then all
Third
the,
time, because
yeah,
again she was asked to show her purity by entering fire. That
fire
is when she said, enough is enough. I don't want to show anymore my purity. I'll go to Mother Earth, from where she appeared.
where she appeared. Yes. So it's amazing that how these elements of the earth planet are so much aware. Krishna, Lord's, I mean, Sita Ma, and many other of these characters we know. Their transcendental qualities, which we are not aware of. So it's a lovely story, Mataji. Thank you so much for your association. Hare Krishna. I was not able to join couple of days because of guest and Diwali and this and that, but today was such a wonderful day to hear you and get back to the call again, to the routine. So 5 days of Diwali has been very, very hectic with home and guest and late night. I don't
Yeah,
know.
we
Mhm.
also missed you, Rupini Mataji.
Yeah, it was like so hectic for me. Like every day 12:31 sleeping, and some Damodar home programs. Then family came over, and so I never knew that it. I thought Diwali will just go like that. Maybe some crackers and put diya, but then just uh,
Yeah.
in America, Mataji, when we have guests, then you have to take care, and then they'll sit till late night. Then
Mm,
you can't get them to go. Then and I'm kind of person, who will take 7 hours of sleep. you know, if
mm,
but I'm not able to join. Today was really wonderful and blissful to be back. I think for me, Mataji is very this. Geeta Mataji, I was just referring that, I don't know how, Mataji, people can be consistent in going every day to Mangal Aarti, irrespective of sleeping late or not sleeping late. I don't know, it's different kind of in Grahastha family. I'm still struggling with it. But I keep praying to Krishna. There I have to get back to association of devotees, chanting in the morning, enough is enough. So I keep getting these breaks in the middle, like that. So yeah, but
mm,
pray for
mm,
me. I'm able to consistently join chanting and classes because it's so much of material energy, and like this month is also a month of preaching. So there are so many people where we go. We are trying our best to tell them to offer
mm,
diya, to Lord. It's amazing. We had gone to one program and I had shared some pictures in a group, and they said, "Can you send the picture of Lord Damodar?" A big picture of
mm,
Damodar. It was in a picture form. So I said, okay, I
mm,
will send that picture. And then what happened later on, that Mataji came back to me and said, ever since you sent the picture on the phone, I've
mm,
been on the diya. I was getting goosebumps. I said, oh my God, preaching can come in any form. If anyone tells you to send a picture of Lord Damodar on the phone only, they're offering. because somewhere along the line they heard that the Orlando Temple does Damodar home programs, and or they have been doing in the past, and they still want to continue, and they remember that something you do special in this month. So we are just trying our best to preach and reach and also do our own stuff. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I was also mention Geeta Mataji. I missed you all also. I was not there for a couple of days after Friday. Missed you all on the call, and but at the same time, I'm always thinking, oh, devotees are chanting in the morning, they're hearing the Bhagavatam, I'm not able to attend. So this thought is there, and in this month, even if you have a thought that you want to do this, it multiplies. You get benefit of that also. So yeah, but we're trying our best now. Almost half time is over in this month, and somehow or the other, this month takes a special place in our heart. First we feel, oh, Damodar month is coming, we have to do this, we have to read and sing and Gopi Geet and so much other things, whatever we can incorporate in it. But then once we are in the month, it is so sweet that we are able to do it, hearing all these kathas. We just automatically develop love for Krishna. And also, like, I don't know, I'm in Florida, but it's a very hot weather here, but the weather is very cool. The weather is so nice. The winds have been blowing ever since Damodar month started. So we can feel that special sweet energy, and immediately when Damodar month will get over, I know after 5th of November or 6th, whichever date that is, the winter will set in. Then you have to wear your jacket and it's going to be cold, and again we'll be bombarded with the cold weather. But so long as we are there in this month, we can enjoy with Krishna and the devotees. Yeah.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I think we can end the call if anybody doesn't have any comment questions. I don't hear Shamarasika Mataji.
End the call. Yeah.
Shamarasika Mataji.
Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for this next class, and very nicely explained about Damodar Leela and about the Satyabhama also. So thank you so much for this next class. And which was the last verse, Mataji, you completed this today?
It was 8. 8
okay.
words.
Thank you. 8. Thank you so much. Anybody has any? Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for all the details of Damodar Leela. Mataji, there's one more point, right? Like Balramji comes back from with Rohini.
Yes, I forgot.
Yes, Prabhuji, please go ahead.
Yeah. Balramji comes. No, actually, somebody goes and tells Balramji, see, Krishna is being tied. So he comes and he's, very upset. Don't they know I'm Seshanag? How dare anybody can tie up Krishna? And when he reached there, he started shouting, don't you all know who Krishna is? He is the Supreme Lord who all the Devatas also come and worship, and he's only created, maintained, he's creating, maintaining and destroying. He's in charge of all that and so on. So then somebody said, no, actually Mother Yashoda only tied him up. Then he became like a mouse. So then Krishna was crying when he saw his brother, he started crying, and Balram also was in tears. Then he went and begged. And then Mother Yashoda said, oh, so you are Sankarshana. And Balrama had said he's the avatar, so many, he's Narsimha, Vamana, Rama, everything. So Yashoda was listening and she said, oh, so all these avatars have decided to come. The person who is the source of all avatars has taken birth in my house, is it? And then, she was sarcastic. And then Balrama went in and told Mother Yashoda, please untie Krishna, please forgive him. Otherwise, can I go and untie him? And he thought normally Mother Yashoda is very kind. But this time she was very angry. She took a stick and said, if you do anything like that, I'm going to beat you up. And not only that, I will tie you also up. So Balrama got very scared, and all he could do was go and stand near Krishna, and and Krishna was crying. So Balramji, both of them were crying a lot. So in this way, Balram also was very afraid of Mother Yashoda. How both of them were controlled by Mother Yashoda, and yeah, that's how it is.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Also, Mataji, in the material world, also, we see that the love which a mother showers, especially on their son, uh,
Mm,
the son might not listen to the father. Might,
mm,
mother, however she will chastise or whatever, the son will always have a special place for the mother. So this relationship
mm,
is also, the reflection is here we see, because I personally, my own sister, when she has his two sons, and
mm.
father might say anything, but somehow or the other they will comply with her, because she does so much for them, has done so much, and that bond is
No,
like,
the opposite is true for the daughters. I mean, not
yes,
opposite. The daughters listen to the fathers, not the mothers.
yeah.
So it's like that.
You're right. I know. Like, I have two daughters, so if there's anything, then if I'm not able to convey things to her, I ask my husband to intervene, because
Mm.
he knows that he is like a special place is there. That's how nature has made it like that. That's true. Yeah, very true, Mataji. But see, the reflection is here, Mataji. If these leelas were not there with Yashoda, Krishna, how we are seeing
Mm.
like the supreme personality of Godhead is still being tied because of the love of the ropes, like everything like that. Also, Mataji,
Mm.
one question was coming to me in the last stanza of Damodar Astakam. It says that we offer our obeisances to the rope, then we
Mm.
offer to the belly, right? So
Yeah,
why it is mentioned this line, that why not to the belly? Because we know that the belly of Krishna holds the whole universe, especially when we saw the katha of how Krishna opened his mouth, and there was like his body, I mean, Yashoda saw all the universes, and he was trying to show the universe to his mother, but she was like, she almost fainted, as she didn't want to see that aspect of the Lord. She wanted to just grow him with as much love and affection, so yeah, coming to the question of why it is mentioned that the robe is first we offer obeisances in the translation of Damodar Astakam. Why does
because
this?
the rope is not an ordinary rope. That
Uh-huh.
rope is a symbol of her love.
Hmm.
That is why she tied him with her love.
Hmm.
Nothing else. Ordinary ropes cannot bind Krishna. That
Yes.
is why rope of love.
Okay. Because it says that the rope, the belly, and then Radharani, the last.
Yeah.
So I was wondering that why we are not directly first saying the belly of Krishna, but
Mm.
the rope of love is there. Yeah. So love is the essence.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Granth Raj.
वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धु एव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, हर ग्रेस प्रेम पद्मिनी माता जी की जय।
Thank you, Mataji, very much. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Krishna Kripa Sindhu Evach.
Hari Bol.
वैष्णव की जय। नमाचार्य श्रीदास ठाकुर की जय। ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्री प्रपात की जय। अगर इस प्रेम पद्मिनी माता जी की जय। थैंक यू सो मच माता जी। हरे कृष्णा। हरि बोल।